The Prime Minister not announcing any new restrictions, nurses staging a sick-out, and a family mourning the loss of a 1-year-old child. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Simonet with your JCN News for this July 29th. Thanks for staying with us. Well, Bahamians breathing a sigh of relief following Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis's nationally televised address last evening. Many anticipated that new restrictive measures will be implemented in response to a recent surge of COVID-19 cases in country. However, the PM announced that tomorrow, the Christian nonprofit organization Samaritan's Purse will begin erecting additional beds to improve hospital capacity here in the country.
Samaritan's Purse, a good friend of the Bahamas, greatly assisted us during the second wave of the pandemic. Given our current situation, I have once again asked them for help. Their response was immediate and without hesitation. For this, we are very grateful. Yesterday, an advanced team from Samaritan's Purse carried out a site inspection at the Princess Margaret Hospital with our healthcare officials. Their objectives were to assess the current operations in the original Samaritan Purse's medical tents and to determine how to expand this to allow for an additional 18 beds.
The PM added that Samaritan's Purse also sought an understanding of the country's other clinical needs regarding personnel, supplies, and essential equipment.
Further, the Public Hospitals Authority is working with a donor who has offered to provide an additional medical tent. Medical tents previously donated by the United States government for other purposes are being assessed to determine if they can be turned into negative pressure tents and used in the treatment of COVID-19 patients.
Dr. Minnis also announced that the government plans to hire an additional 49 medical staff members, along with 111 nurses and nursing supporting staff to complement the staff currently dedicated to the COVID response.
Our plan is to engage as many trained professionals as possible to provide health care to Bahamians and residents, and to get shots in arms as quickly as possible as our vaccine supply increases. We are also calling on all retired nurses, doctors, and pharmacists to come forward and assist in this, our time of need.
3 weeks ago, Chief Hospital Administrator at the Princess Margaret Hospital advised that the hospital is at capacity. The Public Hospitals Authority also announced that the morgue is now operating beyond capacity. This as over 1,700 cases of COVID-19 are on the books for this month alone. At last report, there's now 1,574 active cases in country, 100 of which are in hospital. 90 are considered moderately ill, and 10 are in intensive care across the country. With more than 100 nurses and 49 medical staff to be added to the healthcare sector to assist in the Bahamas' fight against COVID-19, as confirmed by the Prime Minister in his national address on Wednesday evening, the additional help is much needed and welcomed as healthcare workers are overwhelmed. That's the sentiments of both Consultant Physician Staff Association President Dr. Sabrika Pinder-Butler and Bahamas Nurses Union President Amantha Williams. On Tuesday, Health Minister Renwood Wells noted that the public healthcare system has 550 doctors, 422 at Princess Margaret Hospital alone, and an additional 60 doctors expected to add to the 550, 30 of which are senior house doctors and 30 interns who just took their examination on Monday. Dr. Pinder-Butler says she hopes they can be placed in a timely manner. 64 registered nurses, 20 trained clinical nurses, 17 patient care assistants, and 10 porters will be deployed in the public health system, according to the minister. The BNU president says that she's not aware of any additional RNs coming in. Currently, close to 1,500 new COVID cases were confirmed in country so far this month, with more than 100 people hospitalized with COVID-19 as of Wednesday. Total confirmed COVID-19 cases in the Bahamas now at 14,545, as the Ministry of Health has now confirmed 88 new additional cases for Wednesday, July 28th. 59 of the 88 cases here in the capital, 12 on Exuma, 6 with a history of travel within 14 days, 7 on Abaco, 3 apiece on Grand Bahama, Bimini and Cat Key and Eleuthera, and 1 case on Andros, with the addition of 3 cases active. Active cases in country now at 1,613. Total hospitalizations have also increased to 106, 11 of them battling the virus in the intensive care unit. 95 are considered moderately ill. Health officials reporting an additional death under investigation, that category totaling to 28. The death toll remains at 286. 48 people recovered on Wednesday, pushing total recoveries to 12,549. 118,579 tests have been completed nationwide. 17 nurses staged an apparent sick-out at the already understaffed Rand Memorial Hospital in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Public Hospitals Authority in a statement says Grand Bahama Hospital officials confirmed that the nurses all called in sick ahead of the 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. shifts on Tuesday, in a move that came as a shock to even the Bahamas Nurses Union, who had no knowledge of the apparent industrial action ahead of time. According to PHA, the alleged sick-out further strains hospital resources during the ongoing pandemic, as the Rand Memorial Hospital was already facing a critical nursing shortage. Grand Bahamas Hospital Administrator Mrs. Sharon Williams says this major setback has negatively affected the hospital's wards and inpatient services. While hospital management continues to monitor the situation, measures are already in place to strategically redeploy nursing staff to maintain their ability to effectively care for patients. Shifting gears, a family forced to face perhaps its worst nightmare today as police on the island of New Providence are investigating a drowning incident which occurred in the Eastern District, which has left a 1-year-old child dead. According to reports, shortly after 7 p.m. last evening, the child was at home with relatives when he wandered from the house and a few minutes later was discovered at the bottom of the swimming pool. He was transported to hospital in serious condition and was later pronounced dead. Investigation continues into this incident. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.